Behind her eyes. I wonder what's behind my eyes.
Plankton!
What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. Behind Her Eyes is the brand new limited series, only 6 episodes, a very bingeable show, but it's a show that will completely catch you off guard. Can't go into too many details. This is a spoiler-free review, but I need your thoughts down below. Have you finished the show? What did you think about it? I really want to talk about the ending. We'll save that for another day. Let's go into it. So we have Louise, a single mother who has an affair with her psychiatrist boss, David. Her life takes a strange turn when she later befriends his wife, Adele, and she finds herself caught in a web of secrets and lies where nothing is what it seems. The series is based on the best-selling novel by Sarah Pinborough, and I knew nothing about the novel going into the show, completely blind. I wanted to see what was behind her eyes. What we end up getting is a show that starts out on a very familiar note. I have seen this before. A man and a woman get together secretly and form a relationship, but they can't say anything about it because the guy is actually married. Well, what ends up happening with these 3 characters is the 2 women end up running into each other and kind of form this relationship. So it is kind of your standard, okay, these 2 are together, but these 2 are friends. All 3 of them are lying to each other about different things. We'll get into Adele's character here in just a second, but it's that type of romance, dramatic, thrilling at times show for the first 3 episodes. You're trying to figure out, okay, I know there's something else going on here. What exactly is that? In come a few other characters that make a huge impact, a splash, and thus you have your show. A show that starts out in one genre, it starts to veer into a completely different territory, and by the time you get to the end, whoa boy. Whoa boy, I had no clue it was going to go in that direction, and I won't lie to you, I was sitting kind of scratching my head at first saying, it's not what I expected. It doesn't necessarily follow the trajectory of what it sets up at the beginning, but part of me is still intrigued, even though I'm still trying to connect all of the dots. An actor by the name of Tom Bateman plays the character of David the psychiatrist, and I actually was pushing for Tom Bateman 2 to 3 years ago, whenever Cold Pursuit came out, as who could possibly make for a phenomenal Joker. Now, in this role, you don't necessarily see it, but you go watch a movie like Cold Pursuit, the guy is just perfect for the Joker, in my opinion. But in this show, he's hiding something. You can't necessarily tell what he is hiding, but every character here is hiding something. One thing I encourage everyone to look out for while they're going throughout the series is a context clue here, something in the background there, whether it be something as simple as the clothing that the characters wear. Each character has a distinct color palette associated with them, which I thought was a creative choice on the director's part. Now, again, I'm not going to talk about what genre we sort of flip to, at least in the last episode, but really building up through episodes 4, 5, and 6. But where we go is going to catch a lot of people off guard. I will say this, even though I'm still trying to piece together everything when it comes to that ending, and it does baffle you in such a way that almost feels disappointing at first, but I encourage everyone to just kind of, okay, that's what the show was trying to do. Maybe it didn't fully accomplish that, but it at least kept me on the edge of my seat, and it was gripping in a way. So even though I didn't love where they ended the show, it was gripping, but I am curious, if you did read the book, how does the ending of the series compare to the ending of the book? I believe when the book released, they used a hashtag that said WTF, that ending, so apparently they're very similar to each other, but I would love to know the differences. I think that's very important when it comes to a show like this. And Adele almost follows the same path as our other characters. When she comes on screen, you can tell that there's something there. We get a scene in the first few episodes where she is kind of, she's painting something on the wall. I love how we reveal it that first time, by the way. It kind of pans out of the woods going into her room where she's using the brush to paint what we end up seeing on her wall. I thought that was really cool. The camera work actually is genuinely good in the show. And on a technical level, they give us these flashback scenes is what they feel like, or dream sequences, not to tell you exactly where they go. But that actually added an element of horror into the show that I was not expecting at all. So we have a thriller, we have a buildup of intensity, we have horror. All of those genres colliding create for a really intriguing 3 to 4 episodes. And then with that final batch is when we start to get the reveals that we're not expecting. And even watching it play out at the end, I had to sit and collect my thoughts. I had to figure out who was actually doing what. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And where do my thoughts and feelings lie after that finale that, frankly, was completely unexpected. And the majority of the time, when a show manages to surprise you like that, it's a good thing. But again, where it leaves off, I'm still trying to figure out if I genuinely thought it worked or not. Because we do have those genre cliches. We do have the romance and the love triangles, well, even more elements of love story subplots that come in later on in the series that you will be like, oh, so there's now another angle to that, which is intriguing. And I really liked the writing for the characters. I like the way they're built up. I like the way you feel their emotions. Louise is dealing with an ex of hers that she has some very difficult feelings towards. She has a child, and she's very stuck in this mindset of she knows where her life is headed. Her friend is trying to talk her out of it. Sometimes the advice may not be the best, and sometimes they make decisions, well, the characters that we're rooting for, that I wasn't necessarily in love with, but in the context of the show, they end up making sense. You're also questioning, okay, who is the villain? Who is the hero? And what exactly are we rooting for in the first 2 to 3 episodes? But again, that's kind of what you want to feel. You want to feel the mystery and the intrigue and the thrilling nature of what the show is. And I got all of those things. I won't lie to you. And the last thing I want to say is we have seen this genre before. We really have. And that sense of familiarity may have dropped me down just a tad bit. But I think the characters are interesting enough. The story is surprising enough, whether you love it or not, that I was okay at the end of the day with that sense of familiarity. It actually feels kind of refreshing that Netflix would pick up a show like this, because normally it would just go down the same exact path. And even though the show started off on that path, I like the fact that it was surprising for us that are watching the show and haven't read the book. And again, book readers, I'm just curious. So thanks for tuning into the spoiler-free review. Before I give you guys my score, I need your thoughts down below. How did this show work for you? Did it not work? Were you satisfied with the ending? And come back, because I would love to talk more in detail about this show on this channel. Stay tuned for that. As for my score, I'm going to 70%. I thought the show worked for me. It really did. I'm still questioning the ending. Maybe I just need to go back through and watch it one more time. But it was shocking. And the word to use here is unexpected. The build-up works well, but many will question that ending. Regardless, the journey proves to be intriguing. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned. More Netflix reviews to come this weekend, and a very special video on Friday. You know what that is. WandaVision. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.